And we are here in Rutshuru in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where we're starting to attract quite a crowd here of people curious to see who sort of showed up in this village, and not sure they've ever quite seen anything like us here. The lawlessness that is so pervasive in parts of the Democratic Republic of the Congo has even forced some Swiss foreign workers out of parts of the country. The problem, however, is not just in the Congo. It's been an especially dangerous year for humanitarian workers in Darfur. Here's CNN's Africa correspondent, Jeff Konenge.
They have come from comfortable surroundings far away at enormous risk to themselves. Anne-Cécile Millet and Baljinda here are part of a fast disappearing breed in this region. Foreign aid workers.
No problem of anemia. He looks well, don't worry. Just we have to continue the treatment.
6 months ago, Millet was a pediatric nurse making the rounds in one of Paris's leading hospitals when she was offered an overseas assignment. She said yes even before she learned her destination would be Darfur.
For me, for my side, it was at the beginning to all my life changed completely.
In her native French, she comforts a young malnourished girl named Yasmina. Don't worry, she tells Yasmina and her mother, it won't hurt. Yasmina is 13 months old and weighs just 15 pounds. That's what 6-month-old babies should weigh. What Yasmina really needs is an intravenous drip to build her up. The best they've got here is some high-protein milk and an old plastic cup. And then there's the constant danger lurking both within and outside these refugee camps. Here's an interesting statistic for you. Ever since a peace deal was signed 5 months ago, 12 aid workers have been killed, all of them Sudanese nationals. That's more aid workers than in the entire history of this conflict. The foreigners too are feeling vulnerable, that they could very well be next. 31-year-old Baljinda here was a researcher into tropical children's diseases for nearly a decade in London. She wanted to put her research into practice, and she chose to do it here. Her parents tried to talk her out of it.
Because of course, you know, this is a conflict zone. It is dangerous. It's not as bad as people may imagine. It can be just as dangerous, if not worse, in some of the big major capitals around the world, like New York or London.
She's also constantly aware that women here face an unusually great risk of being raped. She spends her nights in a protected compound a 20-minute drive away.
Of course, when you hear about incidents like this, it has huge shockwaves through the NGO and the UN agency communities. Very traumatic, and it has huge impacts and direct impacts on the work that we do and how people feel here.
Both admit what they do out here in the middle of nowhere in Africa is not suitable to everyone.
We have nothing, no tools. We have nothing to work with them, so with what we have, we try to do our best.
Sometimes it can be very hard, especially when you lose a child. It can be very, very difficult.
There are more than 14,000 aid workers in Darfur alone, and only 1,000 of them are foreigners. The risks are huge, so are the rewards.
Jeff Konenge joins us now from Darfur on broadband. Jeff, you've been there a number of times over the years. Is it getting worse?
No doubt about it, Anderson. It really is getting worse, and you can't say enough how it's getting worse. There's a huge government troop build-up in the area. More and more people are being driven from displaced camps where they were before, so they're being re-displaced, if you will. The cities are getting more crowded, the people getting more desperate, and the World Food Program, for instance, last month they couldn't feed 150,000 people. As the fighting intensifies and more people keep moving, next month they may not be able to feed even more. In a word, it's getting a lot worse.
Jeff, stay safe. Appreciate your reporting. Thank you. Before we go, I wanted to show you what's on the radar, some of the responses to our programming on the 360 blog. Charlotte Jones from Buckeye, Arizona, writes on the blog, watching this series right now on 360 is really making me reevaluate my own life and how I'm living it. Watching the pain and suffering right now, it made me cry. This from Kelly in Marietta, Georgia. It shames me to think that we apparently learned nothing after Rwanda. Why are we, nor the rest of the world, helping more? And Claire Colvin of White Rock, British Columbia writes, I can't wrap my head around someone fleeing to a refugee camp of their own volition because the conditions there are better. Surely we can do better than this. We'll have more of 360 in a moment. Stay with us.